What's up guys, today I'm going to be doing a review of these Tidal Gel World V2T bag gloves, so stay tuned. Okay guys, today we have these Tidal Boxing Gel World V2T bag gloves. We'll do a close-up weighing and review on. Got mine in size large. This particular bag glove is designated with a letter designation for size, or small, medium, large, XL, rather than ounces for weight. So I will put them on the scale to see how much they actually weigh, but just to kind of give you a heads up. Full leather construction. This glove is made in China, which actually has really good construction for a Chinese made glove. Full genuine leather, nothing synthetic on the outside casing. Construction on it is actually really good, nice and robust. You can see the stitching is reinforced nicely on the edges. It has this navy blue, white, and gold color scheme with the Tidal logos. It says gel enforced lining, Tidal Boxing on the medium-sized grip bar. It's nice and firm. And then you have this metal D-ring closure for the Velcro strap. If I were to describe these gloves in one word, it would be tanks. These gloves with the gel lining, you're doing a little bit of a trade-off. It's definitely heavier. You can feel the weight of the glove, but you're getting a trade-off in protection as you are with the weight. So great wrist support, great knuckle protection, great for absorbing shock. So if you're a power puncher, or if you had a hand injury, wrist injury, knuckle issues, any kind of hand issues, and you're just looking for something to really absorb shock, I think these would be definitely a good choice for you. Tri-Cot inner liner, doesn't bunch up, wicks away moisture pretty well. One thing I would have liked to see some ventilated holes in the palm area, but outside of that, very protective glove. So let's go ahead and put these on the scale. One thing you can see is where they actually cut the leather in sections. So I'm sure they have a die or a machine that cuts these out and makes duplicates of the leather cuts before they stitch it together, but you can actually see the die where they cut it. Same thing with the left glove. So but not bad construction. You do have that plastic Tidal Boxing patch on the back, white piping, so overall pretty nice. Let's go ahead and put these on the scale, see how much they weigh. The right glove is at 18.3 ounces and the left glove is at 18.6, so definitely heavy gloves for what they are. These are size large, so I'm assuming XL will probably be a little heavier than these, but great for protection. So let's go ahead and do a review. Hey, what's up guys, Carlo here, and today I'm going to be doing a review of these Tidal Boxing Gel World V2T bag gloves. Got mine in a navy blue, white with gold color scheme, size large. You can get this anywhere between small, medium, large, and extra large. And it has definitely a good variety of color schemes to choose from. This is probably Tidal's best-selling and most popular bag glove. They originally had the black, red, and white, kind of the standard colors that you would get, but they recently added a lot more different variety of colors for this particular bag glove. So that makes it a really attractive buy, in the fact that you have different colors, different sizes, and it's a very protective glove. One thing also is that it is a D-ring Velcro closure. It does not come in lacy up, obviously, as a bag glove. You cannot use this for sparring, or should I say, it is not recommended for sparring, mainly for bag work, mitt work, and other kinds of training around your gym. Now, when you're looking at this glove, I would describe this glove as definitely more short and stocky. It doesn't have a very long cuff, and it has a wider tapered out hand compartment profile, which is great for bag work because you have a lot more of a punching surface area around the knuckle. So you can actually see how wide that surface is. This glove is definitely heavier than most gloves because it has the gel lining on the inside that is actually infused into the multi-layer foam. You can actually feel it when you hold this glove. You can actually feel the weight of the gel that's blended into the foam. And like all gel gloves I've used in the past, that's pretty much expected of a gel glove. I haven't used a gel glove that's not heavy, that's just the nature of gel. But the trade-off is you get much better protection. By that I mean shock absorption, so when you're punching the bag, it's better for that. If you're somebody that has had hand injuries, this is definitely a glove that's targeted to you with both the wrist support, knuckle, and just the overall ergonomics of this glove. So again, back to it being a little bit more short and stocky. You see that Tidal triangle logo with the T right here in the back of the glove. Full leather construction. This glove is made in China, for those that are asking. It says gel enforced lining right here on the thumb. The back of the Velcro closure has a plastic title patch that's stitched onto the back of the Velcro closure. Obviously, you're not gonna be using this for sparring, so you don't have to worry about that landing on someone's face. You can see that it does have this D-ring Velcro closure. It's almost like a ratcheting system. So when you put your hand in here, you basically pull the inside of the wrist together and really lock your wrist in place. Padding wise, you have about a 1/4 inch of padding. It's pretty firm on the inside of the wrist right here. On the back, you have about a 1/2 inch, which feels like EVA style padding that's much more firm. So once you have your hand and your wrist locked into place, it feels pretty stabilized on the inside. The palm side has this white leather, and you can actually see where they cut the leather right here. It probably comes out of a die and has multiple cuts, so they make multiple gloves with the same cut of leather. You do have the Title Boxing logo on this firm grip bar, which is nicely placed. One thing I would have liked to have seen is some ventilation holes, just to give you a little bit more breathability. And you do have an attached thumb. Inside liner is this Tricot microfiber liner. You can see in there, good for wicking away moisture. And then you can see the tag, it says country of China, which is where these are built. And go ahead and close this Velcro strap. Quality of these gloves are actually really nice. I was surprised. I tried the Title AR Techs in the past, the foam channel technology gloves. And I noticed that Title uses pretty much the same profile. It's almost like they use the same design in terms of the thumb and just the overall kind of conical shape of the glove and a lot of their bag gloves. The only difference is they kind of change the padding on the inside of the knuckle area. But the quality is actually really good, man. For a glove that's made in China, I didn't really find too many flaws with it. Only thing I would say is that you see a little bit of buckling of the leather. So when I started using these, this was all pretty much just nice and tight. But over time of using these on the bag, you can actually see that the leather is starting to buckle. It's not a huge deal, but it's just getting a little bit of extra slack into the leather because of me hitting the heavy bag with it. But overall, the stitching looks really good. I didn't find any issues with any inconsistencies with the stitching. Leather is nice quality, feels nice and thick, has a kind of a matte grainy feel to it. You can see the actual leather is bonded nicely to the inner foam. Stitching looks really good. Even on the palm side, the outside edges here, you don't have any issues with any stitching coming out. No frayed stitching. Grip bar looks really good. Palm looks good. Both gloves were symmetrical to each other. I didn't feel like one hand had kind of a weird thumb compared to the other hand. I felt that was really good. So for the sake of being the same, I like that a lot. I mean, there's some gloves that you put on the right glove and it feels fantastic. Then you put the left glove on and then the thumb feels a little off. So you didn't have any issues with that with these gloves. Velcro is really nice, high quality. Again, you can see the white piping on the Velcro looks good. The D-ring is nicely attached into this leather loop. Piping is good right here. And overall, really nice job with the construction. I mean, couldn't really find too many flaws. Even the piping around the cuff right here looks good. So overall, quality is really nice. I'm pleasantly surprised with how these are built. You can see that some of the leather dye is starting to bleed off into the stitching. Again, just more aesthetics. It's not an issue with the performance. The comfort of these gloves are great as well. You slide your hand in here. One thing you want to make sure of would be when you do slide your hand into this glove, it has a tendency for the inside, or should I say the inner wrist piping to want to fold over. So just make sure you keep that flat. Then from there, you can really ratchet your hand in here using this D-ring closure for the Velcro. But one thing you notice when you slide your hands in here is really comfortable, man. Excellent thumb placement, excellent fist and finger placement. And Title does a really nice job with their gloves in terms of giving you comfort on the inside. They put a nice softer foam that's resting against your hand. There's some Mexican style gloves that when you put them on, you have a really roomy hand compartment, even with hand wraps on, and it kind of leaves a void between your knuckles in certain areas, especially if the glove is tapered, to where you feel like there's a little bit of a gap in between your knuckles and in the inside of the hand compartment. With these, they do a really nice job of really giving you that nice comfortable feel. The liner doesn't bunch up. Again, thumb feels great. Fingers aren't overcrowded. You do have this nice piece of neoprene that covers the stitching right here on the inside of the finger compartment. Palm placement, grip bar is perfectly positioned. Wrist support feels great. I don't feel like it inhibits my movement, or it doesn't make me feel any discomfort when I put this on. It really locks my hand in here. So the comfort of these gloves are really nice. The only thing I would say is if they could have added just a couple of ventilated holes here just to give it a little bit more breathability. But overall, I like the comfort. You can actually see I can open and close my hand fairly easily. I mean, I've used these on the bag for several rounds, so there's maybe a little bit of a break-in period, but outside of that, super comfortable. You can pretty much open and close your hand with relative ease. And for a bag glove that has gel infused lining, that's a really nice feature to have. One other thing is these gloves are a little bit on the top heavy side, and that's because of the gel lining. So just keep that in mind. They're not the worst I've had. There's some gloves where I've actually grabbed the wrist section, and the entire front of the glove just drops down. So there's a little bit of some stabilization and some padding in here to help keep everything balanced, but it does have a little bit more of a top heavy feel to it because of the gel lining. Now the protection and the performance is where this glove really shines. Being a gel lined glove, they infuse a multi-layer foam, so you can actually see that it has more of a medium to firm density. It's not super soft, doesn't go right through the knuckles, but the gel lining really helps absorb shock. So if you're looking for something that you really want to throw some heavy shots and not have to worry about injuring your hand, maybe you have an existing injury and you need some bag gloves that really absorb the shock and have good wrist support as well. Maybe you had a wrist injury, then these definitely are in your wheelhouse. I feel that these gloves, when you're hitting the bag, you can really hit with maximum power and not be worried that you're gonna injure your hands. And that's what a good bag glove does, especially one that's more geared towards someone that maybe has a hand injury or just wants maximum protection. And I feel that these do a really nice job of keeping your hand protected with that gel liner. So overall, protection and performance on these gloves are definitely fantastic. Cost-wise, pricing, these gloves are $139 through Title Boxing. Now I know that Title Boxing gives you 20% off if you sign up for their newsletter. And they also do some other promotions throughout the year, sales for holidays. So honestly, there's really never gonna be a point where you should ever pay full price, in my opinion, for these gloves. And even at $139, I think they're a good glove, considering what's out there and what this glove offers in terms of the gel, the full leather construction, the comfort of the glove, just the overall features, the D-ring closure with the buckle. You're getting a really good glove in terms of keeping in mind where they were trying to aim at. I guess they're, for me, I think their demographics were people that just maybe had hand injuries, somebody that really wanted to protect their hands, and these gloves really achieve that. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find these gel gloves. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.